Welcome to FootballGamePlan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, sitting next to the man, Tyler Merkovich, bringing you our 2010 NFL mock draft. This is part 1 in a series of 5. We're going to do these throughout the winter and spring. We're doing 2 this month, 2 next month, and 1 in April leading up to the draft. We're going to jump right into picks 1 through 16. Check the second video for 17 through 32. Jumping right into it right now. Number 1 pick, St. Louis Rams. Who you have them taking?
And I always have tough times with my mock drafts, so I had about 50 players I could fit in the first round. But number 1, it's the St. Louis Rams, and I'm still contemplating the fact that Steve Spagnuolo might have been even dropping games to get this number 1 pick because he saw how well this defensive lineman out of Nebraska was playing down the stretch for the Cornhuskers, and that's Ndamukong Suh, perfect fit for Spagnuolo's defense. There's question marks about will he be huffing and puffing, will he be an every down player, but he's got good character, good head on his shoulders, and I think he can be that dominant force. He's a superb athlete, number 1 pick, surefire.
Whoo, let's go with Detroit and Motown. Who you got those guys taking?
And I think Detroit, they could use a lot of players. Secondary player, offensive lineman, or defensive lineman, but I think they'll take top guy on the board left, and that'll be Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. This player is a great football player, not as stylish as Ndamukong Suh, but he's substance.
Well, let's go down to Tampa, the city of Tampa, the Buccaneers, who you have Raheem Morris in his second year as head coach selected.
And this is a match made in heaven for Raheem Morris if he gets the opportunity to take the safety out of Tennessee, Eric Berry. This kid can hit, but his cover skills are superb, versatile. I think he'll get a lot of playing time, probably start from day 1 for Raheem Morris, and he'll be fitting great as a Buccaneer. So, Savvy Piscatelli is not going to be the starter?
I'm just saying. Let's
there he goes again.
Let's go up to D.C., Washington Redskins. Shanahan's a head man now. Who you have the guys selected in D.C.?
Yeah, what is the new era going to do? Do they trust Jason Campbell? What are they going to do? They should move down, I think, if they want Bradford or Clausen, but if they stay in this spot, they need to improve that offensive line and that running game. So start with a surefire tackle, Russell Okung out of Oklahoma State.
Yeah, they needed a lot of help on that offensive line. Campbell's getting beat like a drum, beaten like he stole something. So they need to protect whoever's going to be back there, whether it be Campbell or if they draft the guy in the second round. They need to protect up front, number 1. 15, Kansas City Chiefs. Who you have those guys selected?
Well, I got a surprise pick. If they don't move down out of this pick, you know their general manager, he likes to take underrated defensive players. Last year, he took Tyson Jackson. They don't move down. C.J. Spiller out of Clemson,
wow.
Your boy, teaming up with Jamal Charles. They let go of Larry Johnson. But you know, stability at the running back position is a must for winning franchises.
Well, let's go with Seattle out west. Pete Carroll, new head coach coming back from USC. Back into the NFL, who you have the Seahawks taking?
And I have this guy flying up the boards, and I think Pete Carroll will bite on it. I know they drafted Aaron Curry, linebacker out of Wake Forest, top 5 last year. This year, Rolando McClain. If they don't move down out of the spot, they're going to take him out of Alabama. I think he's versatile enough to play many positions, and they need depth on defense at linebacker, at defensive line, and why not start it with Rolando McClain, pair him up with Curry and a couple other linebackers, because that could be a great tandem.
You look at Carroll has a defensive background, so you might see them go defense likely with the 6th pick. 7, Cleveland. Who do you have those guys taking?
Well, you saw the Cleveland Browns down the stretch. Their defense was great. Special teams was consistent all year. Their running game and offensive line was coming together. What they need is that offensive weapon, and Des Bryant out of Oklahoma State only played half the season, but he's clearly the best wide receiver in this draft class. I think if Cleveland doesn't move up to take C.J. Spiller, they need to grab Bryant as soon as possible at the number 7 spot. They may even need to move up to take Bryant because they'll move Josh Cribbs down to a 3, Muhammad Massaquoi, other rookie out of Georgia, as a number 2, and help out that playmaking ability on offense.
Especially if they don't re-sign Cribbs, Bryant can help out in the return game, dynamite return for Oklahoma State. Oakland, we have the Raiders selected.
Well, you know the Raiders do not have background checks on their draft picks. Carlos Dunlap, I know not too much of a problem, but he did have a DUI right before that game that might have cost Florida. Alabama dominated the Gators in that game, but Carlos Dunlap, a great talent. I could see the Raiders taking him.
Western New York, Buffalo Bills, Chan Gailey back in as a head coach in the NFL. Who you have the Bills select?
And this pick could have a ripple effect here, but I don't think they're sold on Trent Edwards, and I think they could take Sam Bradford. I know he's very injury prone. He needs to build his body so he doesn't get hit if he gets sacked once, he might be out 3 games. But I'm gonna put Buffalo taking Sam Bradford at number 9.
So let's go out Mile High City, Denver Broncos, who you have McDaniels taking in his second year.
And I think Denver should move down, but if not, if they stay in the spot, I think a guy who's going to rise up draft boards is Jimmy Clausen, and I can see the Broncos for the future nabbing Clausen here. He's got that moxie attitude that McDaniels likes. I think that would be a good fit right there.
Solid player, solid player. Jacksonville, who you guys have?
Well, another player rising out of Clemson. A lot of people, the average fan probably haven't heard about this guy, Ricky Sapp. I think they need depth on defense. I think they're going to stick with their secondary that had problems, but they're young, and you know they're not going to spend more draft picks on that secondary. So why not go with a guy, a Ricky Sapp, who could play linebacker, who could play DN, and it's always good to have depth on defense.
Down the coast of Miami, who you have the Dolphins taking?
And Bill Parcells, he can never have enough linebackers, especially in that 3-4. Jason Taylor aging, a couple guys leaving. Sergio Kindle, great fit in Miami with Bill Parcells, will get a lot of playing time. Kid at linebacker out of Texas, he's got a great motor.
Hey, they're already hating the fact that you gave away McClain. They want him, but Sergio Kindle will be a nice consolation prize. Let's go to San Francisco, where you have the 49ers selected.
Well, San Fran, I think they should move up. Maybe they want to get Clausen, maybe they want to go Bradford. But if they want to stay in the spot, I got the defensive end out of Georgia Tech, Derek Morgan. He's got a durability issues with, will he be an every down player, but maybe he could fit into that defense.
Seattle Seahawks, again in the first round, you have those guys taken.
Well, you know the ties Carroll has to USC now. Taylor Mays, he has promise. If he works on his coverage skills, he could be a great strong safety. So I think the connection right there, Taylor Mays to Seattle, Pete Carroll.
G-Men with the 15th pick, who you have the Giants
Well, you know what you said all year. If the Giants don't move up, they don't get a guy like Kindle, I think this could be a sleeper pick here. This guy should rise up the backboards. His size is in question, but Sean Weatherspoon, he's got the speed, the linebacker out of Missouri. I think he'd be a good fit for the Giants, but the Giants could go a lot of places here.
Yeah, they need a lot of team speed in New York. Let's go back out west to San Francisco, who you have Singletary taking with a second pick in the first round.
Well, that offensive line, it was okay, but they could use a big guard out of Idaho. He led the Vandals offensive line, Mike Iupati. This guy's underrated. He's got size, and he's going to be a good NFL player. I can see San Fran nabbing him early.
Big, nasty, physical player. You saw in the Humanitarian Bowl, was able to dominate at the line of scrimmage. I like Iupati. Really good player. Well, that's picks 1 through 16, folks. So let's go to video 2 for picks 17 through 32.